Welcome back. Now, this is that part of the program that gets me excited. And for good reason, especially. If you educate a girl child, they say you're educating a nation. But if you educate a girl child, you're giving her the power to making a choice about how to participate in that nation and prepare herself for it. Now, one person who is making tremendous impact in that area is Ms. Seyi Oluyole. She's the executive director of the organization, founder, executive director, Dream Nurture Initiative, and founder, executive director, Dream Catchers Academy. Madam, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
It's so nice to have you. And you're looking good.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Let's start with the academy, with the backstory of the academy for the girl children. What inspired it, first of all? And then tell us about those children. How do they come to you?
Okay, so the inspiration is from my personal story. I grew up in the 90s, what would be called a middle-class family. And then, as usual, when Nigeria has its inflation, my family experienced that, and then that just threw things all over the place. And then I'm between 9 and 10, we no longer have a home to live. I'm going from, going to school every day to no longer being able to go to school. And somewhere when I was 12 years old, before then, within those 2 years, we were always moving around. And then when I was 12, we were finally able to rent an apartment, but it was very close to a slum called Ebute Metta. So when I got to Ebute Metta, my worldview changed, even as young as I was, because I saw the community was crazy. I think that's the best way I can explain it. No bathrooms, no toilets. All the houses are made with wood. That's where they do sawdust. So it's not even healthy for someone to live there. But then I found myself there. And I think the first thing, even though I was now living there, but the first thing that just came to my mind is, I would like to change something, because the difference between myself and those children is the fact that the children I met in Ebute at that time is the fact that I had educated parents, and I had parents who knew the importance of education. So every time when we were having that back and forth and being out of school, my mom would insist that, read at home, look for money to take me to school. And then there was this whole community where there was barely any emphasis on education, and even the ones that were going to school from like GS3, they would drop out. Once you're in GS3, they would do like a whole ceremony, and then maybe the kids would go and learn a trade and things like that. And I just wanted to make a difference, because I was like, you know what, if I'm lucky enough to have parents like this, and these children here might not have parents like this, I want to make a change. So it basically started from when I was like 14, 15, and I'm very passionate about the arts. I've always loved dancing, music, and so that as a child, then that was what I had. So that was what I used to, gradually just start something with the kids. And back then, I used to dance with them. Then I used to be called Damptress and our Fabulous Dancers.
Say that again.
Damptress and our Fabulous Dancers.
What happens to the group now?
Everybody is grown now, so yeah, I think that's it. Everybody's grown.
I love to see videos of you dancing.
Wow, it's your story is very touching and amazing. And so let's talk about some of your success stories. Just like you've had your own narration. And sure, when we look at these pictures, every child here is a story for you. I may not be able to pick anyone, not specific, but if you can pick a child that the story will resonate with a lot of people, without necessarily mentioning the name, walk us through a child's journey and how you're so excited what they've become today. Okay,
so I would walk us through one of the girls. I met her at 5. She was 5 years old, and that was in Ikorodu. It wasn't long that I came back from the United States. So every time I would walk down the road, because people knew me in that area. When I was coming back, people were just excited that, oh, she's coming back, she's going to come and teach dance again. So every morning, she would just always call me Auntie Seyi and wave at me, and kids were going to school. So I stopped them, to ask her some questions. Why are you not going to school? And then I found out that she was from a family of 7, and they didn't have much. So eventually, when they had a chance to choose a child that would go to school, they chose the boy. So someone came to the family and said they wanted to help the family, and then they chose the boy, and the other girls didn't get a chance to go to school, and then she would just be there on the street with her youngest brother and back the brother and always take care of him. And that resonated with me. So, I spoke to her family, and the mom was just so happy and said she wants her children to go to school, not necessarily having future ambition for the child, just when other children are going to school, me too, I want my daughter to go to school. And she will be 15 in December this year, and she has still been with us every day, monitoring her growth. Of course, now she's a teenager, so she's a little, I joke all the time and say she's like a whole new human being now. But I'm very excited about her journey, and I tell her as many times as I can that you are like a beacon, because now all these other younger girls are coming up and they are looking at you, and the crown on her head too is almost as heavy as the one on my head, because I always tell her that you have to make it to the university. Nobody from her family has ever been to the university. Even nobody from her family has finished SS3 from GS3. Even the boy that was picked dropped out at GS3. So for her, we're very, very hopeful. And I think that that's like the typical story that people from marginalized communities can relate with, where most of the time people just believe that if the boy gets the education first, it will be easier for him to come back to the family and do something for the family.
The way you painted this, it just sounds easy peasy. But still, you're superwoman, absolutely. But I know that this can be very tough.
Yes.
I mean, people have just one child, and it's a lot, and it's even their own child, so to speak. And as you see them, they look like they've gone through hell. But you're handling these children. How many are there? 60?
No, 40.
40 rather.
Yes.
40 children, and you pay attention to each of them. We see their videos, they're always happy, joyful. Some of us are like, I envy these children, goodness me. So talk us through some of the challenges you've had to combat, and maybe are still combating in this process, because you're doing a lot and it's no mean feat.
So working with children, it's like how sometimes people would do a whole thread on Twitter and say, prove that children are crackheads. And I always watch the video and laugh. So I think the most important thing is patience. Right. Yesterday, someone was at our studio and was just looking at me. I was like, how do you guys end up having videos online? And I'm like, sometimes we take 2 weeks, because they are kids. They can have a whole day where they show up and they don't want to do anything. They just want to lazy around, and you try. Sometimes at the end of the day, they'll end up getting their way, and then we have days when they're in a good mood. So I think what we do mostly is just study their mood and consequences for actions. A lot of the time, because of their background, these are kids that experience independence. That's basically what it is. A child that can wake up in the morning, go and do whatever she wants to do, and then now you are trying to fit that child into a structure. It's difficult. Another thing is, a lot of the times, like I said earlier, people hardly have dreams for their girls. So you are spending, sometimes when we want to do rehearsal, we end up spending 2 hours advising them, because you just keep saying, you have to do it, you have to do it. Many of them don't really understand it, but I often believe that eventually I think it's a marathon. I think that's, yeah, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Yes, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So they have their good days. I think highly that's one of the challenges. Then of course funding, as we all know, the constant inflation with food. Rice went from like 25,000 to like 100K, and you cannot tell children that, oh, rice is now, it's not their business. Exactly, it's not their business. So the food is just has to be on their table, and you just have to, find a way to make everything easier. And then sometimes it's from those that have living parents. When the girls start to grow to a certain age. So one time we had an 18-year-old, which was already an adult, but we were really hopeful to achieve something with her. However, the problem was that because she was old enough and she had some skills, every time her father would visit, he would tell her that with this skill, you can come home and make money instead of just sitting here and staying in school. Cite examples like, oh, in Nigeria, you're not even sure you will get a job. And eventually, that particular girl, we actually had to let her go because she would just always talk about how she wants to support her father. And she was 18, there was very little we could do. So I think that those are like the strong major challenges that we experience.
Perhaps we could talk more about that. Looking at your videos, the girls are well dressed. Even when they're in different clothes, they're well dressed. I'm sure they go to school as well under your watch, and they even have good hairstyles. So, how are you managing to survive besides feeding them, their education, and their clothing and every other thing?
Well, thankfully, we have people that support through. I think social media has helped strongly. Myself and my team were very lucky because I work with people who also have like similar backgrounds. So everybody is always very particular about, oh, you have to look neat, you have to look neat. Even if a child sometimes shows up looking dirty, I can say, give her something, like change her clothes, and she will stand there and wash her dirty clothes just so she learns that she has to appear neat. Because of their background, it's very easy for people to see them, and the way they are dressed or the way they look add that to how they treat them. So for me, it's almost like I always tell them that you are prepping for the future. It's not even about now. It's about, I won't be there forever. It's about when you're an adult, when you get scholarship to the university, how would you do it? And in terms of fundraising, we do a lot of crowdfunding, and a lot of the times too, when school is about to resume, we always ask people to sponsor a child. We also have people who are aware about what we do and send donations. Like this video that has been played, it was someone that said a school was giving out their gymnastics wear, and then just sent us a bag of all these outfits. So we have donors and sponsors who often, show up and make the work a lot easier.
So let's talk about the dance. We've not talked about this dance. Is it that all of them can dance, or a couple of them you teach them? How does it work? And the ones that may not be able to move like these ones, how do they feel when they see their brothers or their sisters, I should say, moving and they are not moving?
It's not easy. That's the thing, because majority can dance. So the ones we have a particular child who she doesn't have rhythm. That's just it. Like she actually doesn't have rhythm. So sometimes she'll go and hide in the video. Then when we shot the video and we'll watch, I'll be like, "What's this girl doing here?" And then we'll have to reshoot it because she'll just be at the back moving around. But what we do is we ensure that everybody has a skill. So for some who are not dancing, they also learn tie and dye. They do crocheting. We have some girls who play the instrument, trumpet, recorders. So we just basically try to find a skill that everybody can do. So far, majority of them came in with, like, I would say, potential. So what just happens is we do our scouting, we meet some of the girls, we speak to them, to see where their head is at, to see where their family is at, and we bring them in, and we hope that they love dancing. Sometimes we are fortunate where when we go there, you just meet a child that really, really loves dancing. Sometimes it starts to grow on them. As you know, children, once they see the other kids dancing, they will also want to try. But yeah, I think about 20-something of them dance, while the others are involved in other activities.
I wish we can listen. The producer can help us listen. That particular one with the Nigerian flag, I don't know. What was that about?
That was when we qualified for AFCON finals. And we were hopeful that we would win.
I hope the children were not disappointed.
Let's leave it at that. I don't want to relive any hurtful moment. I mean, looking through your social media, you have almost 1 million followers on Instagram.
Yes.
And that's just remarkable. From this idea, you've gotten attention both in Nigeria and globally as well. We've seen artists like Davido, Tenny, and even corporates coming to support. And it's great to see, really. And I can't even imagine how many people you've inspired to start something like this. But I know you have limitations. You maybe try to touch on them, financing, interactions with the parents sometimes and the rest. But do you ever worry that you can't help as much people? I know people have that feeling. You just wish you could help everybody, but obviously we're limited. We don't have infinite resources. So are you limited to just taking 40 girls Can you expand? Is that something you're hoping to do? What is the plan really?
So the plan actually in terms of expansion, we are actually currently building a home that would hopefully help us take in about 100 girls. Yes, so I think that's the plan with the expansion. But yes, space has always been a limitation, mostly because currently for our home, it's a rented. It's like a rented bungalow, and then we got a quick notice actually last year. So we've been planning on building the home to increase our numbers since 2021. We actually started the GoFundMe in, I think 2022, April of 2022, and the GoFundMe has just been there. We've been hopeful, but once we received the quick notice last year,
quick notice?
Yes, in October last year.
Is it because you couldn't afford the rent, or didn't?
No, they want to sell the property. The owner of the property wants to sell the property.
Oh.
So we were just like, okay, you know what, this is perfect timing to, just use this situation to say we have this that we are doing, and if anyone wants to support the building of our home to be able to help more girls. So I think that's basically where we are at now. And also because sustainability is very, very important. It's one thing to have the girls in a permanent home. There's also the feeding and everything. So some of the things that we're also trying to do is farming. We actually do have our own farm where we grow mostly vegetables. So, we are hopeful that once we can have the home sorted out, we can have we have a property somewhere in Ikorodu that is like 2-3 plots, that so we can also do both agricultural farming and livestock farming. Currently what we just have is a couple of crops that we are doing so that we don't have to spend money buying vegetables and things like that, and pawpaw. So most of our fruits is always gotten from our farm.
I love pawpaw.
I love farming. I wish I could back that up with action. But we'd like to thank you very much. Amazing work you're doing, and I can see ministers, maybe even presidents amongst those girls, and they'll make you proud in the future. Ms. Sheyi Oluyole, founder, executive director, Dream Nurture Initiative, founder, executive director, Dream Catchers Academy. Thank you for helping those girls catching their dreams.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming on the program.
And
we hope to meet those girls someday soon.
Yes. Invite us for your Christmas party.
Right. Or you invite us for yours, right?
Exactly.
So you have the invitation already.
Okay, so we can invite you.
Yeah, okay. You can invite us, absolutely.
Right.
We'll go get party packs, right?
Yes, we'll plan your own special.
I'm joking.
We'll do a special.
But absolutely, we'll love to be there.
We'll love to be there.
All right.
We'll love to be there, absolutely.
All right, so today we take a cue from Miss Oluyole, who has turned her own story into a big vision that is expanding daily. Do the same for yours. Thank you for watching, and join us again tomorrow when we'll bring you another amazing edition of the program. I am Bukola Koka.
It's always a good time to share this moment with you, and we always cherish it. Thank you so much. I'm Jeffrey Uzama.
And here's to everyone trying to catch their dreams. May you be like Nwabali. I'm Karaoke Kulu. Goodbye.